and happy May. I'm going to start right off with the prize update for those of you who watched last week's video and fully committed to your next goal by sharing it in the comments or shooting me a message directly. I'll be mailing or giving each of you a small, personalized, motivational gift that hopefully gives you the boost you need on the way to achieving the goal you shared and on your journey to future goals. As I said before, holding yourself accountable by sharing your goals with others shows yourself and others that you are really committed and increases the likelihood that you will achieve the goal. So thank you, and hats off to the people who commented or messaged me with their goal. I'll be in touch. Next, I'm going to quickly recap the first Bite Size with Britt monthly challenge, which was the April Quote Challenge. This challenge consisted of finding meaningful quotes in your daily life and recording a quote that stood out to you either each day or once per week. Here are my completed quote challenge pages. Of these quotes I came across, I think the one that stuck with me the most is, "Pay attention to seeds. God often plants them, and if you water them, impossibilities become possibilities," which was taken from Lolo Jones's book, Over It. I really like this one because I've definitely experienced or noticed certain things that just keep seeming to come up in my life or nagging at me in some way. I think deep down, we all have these little seeds that get planted and become harder to ignore. And I think it's important to tune in and listen to signs from the world that indicate that maybe you should pursue that idea or activity that keeps prodding you. I bet you can all think of something in your own life right now. And then one other quote, which I thought was super cute, and I came across while rewatching some Boy Meets World episodes with my husband, is, "I do my thing and you do your thing. I am I and you are you. If in the end we end up together, it's beautiful." From Topanga. I just thought that was beautifully put. And yes, I realize how much of a serious throwback Boy Meets World is, but it's been a fun, random, feel-good show for us these days. As I mentioned at the beginning of the challenge, for those who participated in this first challenge, if sometime over the next week, you can comment or send me the quote that stood out most to you out of all the quotes you collected, that would be amazing. And then I'll enter you into the monthly prize draw, and I'll announce the winner of this at the beginning of next week's video. And whether or not you participated in the challenge, please share one of your favorite quotes below. I'm continuing to grow and organize my quote collection. I actually recently came across a podcast episode about different strategies for organizing quotes, which I really enjoyed, so I'll link to that below in case some of you also find yourself with a big mixture of handwritten, screenshotted, typed, dog-eared, and highlighted quotes like me. Okay, that was a pretty long catch-up / intro portion, so I think it's definitely time for our deep breath. On 3, 1, 2, 3, in and out. All right, so as you know, if you've been watching my videos, I've been sharing bits and pieces of my pregnancy journey with you. Last week, I mentioned that I hope to have a full kind of delivery update for you all this week, but here I am, still pregnant. So I've put together a few clips from my OB appointment day at the end of last week to share with you where things are at and what the plan is moving forward now that I'm at 40 plus 5 weeks. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. We're live. Morning, everyone. I'm standing outside my 40 plus 1 week ultrasound appointment. I really have to go pee, so this is going to be a quick check-in. But yeah, the plan for today is an ultrasound to make sure the baby is safe and healthy, since he's now officially overdue. Because they expected me to have delivered by now, they've added me in as an add-in appointment. So I've been told that I'm likely going to have to wait quite a while, and they're just going to fit me in when they can. So I've brought lots of water, lots of snacks, lots of books to keep me occupied. BwB, my husband, was actually allowed to come to this appointment, which is one of the first ones that he's been allowed to come to. But we decided, since it sounds like it's going to be a long morning / afternoon with a lot of waiting, it kind of makes more sense for him to be at the house continuing to get us settled in and everything, kind of a better use of
our time. So that's why I'm here alone again, which is the norm because of the pandemic anyway. After the ultrasound, I'll be going to see my OB to review that and then to have the cervical sweep, which I'm kind of nervous about because it doesn't sound like the most fun thing. But anyway, hopefully that starts triggering things to get moving so that we can meet our son sometime super soon. I think that's it for now. I'm going to try to video during the ultrasound since they usually let me do that for my husband since he hasn't been allowed to come yet. So maybe I'll be able to share that with you too. We'll see. Hello, I am out of the appointment around noon, which is great. I was able to get through everything pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film much at all throughout the different steps of the appointment, but I was able to FaceTime my husband during the ultrasound, which was awesome. That's the most important thing. The nurse kind of talked us both through what she was seeing on the ultrasound, and it was all good news. The baby's looking healthy. He's looking big, had an estimated 8 pounds and 3 ounces. So that kind of scared me, but anyway, he's healthy and that is all that matters. There were some concerns about his heart rate dropping too low and fluctuating a lot. So there was some talk of potentially me having to go to the actual hospital up the road to do an NST, a stress test. But thankfully my OB decided that that wasn't indicated today, so she wasn't too concerned at this point. In terms of the vaginal exam, it wasn't so bad. It was a little uncomfortable, but nothing crazy. But I am not dilated at all and very tight. So the plan is to be induced on Wednesday, so in about 5 days. So we're booked in for that. So it's nice to know I have that date. She seems to think they're going to have to throw a lot of options in terms of induction at me, so that should be interesting. She said to bring lots of snacks, all of our bags, basically to be in it for the long haul at that point. So yeah, that'll be fun. We finally will get to meet this little baby, or this big baby. Some of you have asked about whether I'm going to film like a birth vlog type thing. Probably not. I think that that's going to be such a special thing for just us to experience, and yeah, I don't really want to be worried about filming or doing all of that, but I will definitely let you all know how it goes. I'm going to go enjoy this beautiful day now. Bye.
To be honest, I was a little disheartened to hear that I wasn't dilated at all at that appointment, despite the baby being fully healthy and ready for delivery. Even though it's an estimate, having that due date come and go is tough mentally, and I definitely feel for all of you in the same boat. At the end of the day, I've been trying to focus on the fact that my baby is healthy, which of course I'm so grateful for. And now we have a specific end date, and as a type A person, I definitely like having that specific date and time to prepare for. And my husband and I have been doing everything that we can to soak up and make the most of these last few days being just us. So it's all good in the end. Since my mind is on induction, and I know some of the people watching these videos are also pregnant, I thought it could be interesting to share with you a bite-sized version of some of the things I've learned about different induction options from my OB and from the prenatal courses I've taken. So I'm going to quickly review the induction process and a few common induction methods. There are so many different specific reasons why induction may be indicated, but basically the overarching reason is that labor and delivery of the baby is the safest choice at that point in time, and the woman's body needs some form of help or support to start or continue the labor and delivery process. In my case, my baby is healthy. However, I am overdue, and the risks of certain things increase quite significantly once you are a certain amount of time past your due date, especially past the 42-week mark. As you can see here, there are 2 steps of the induction process, and you may need neither, one, or both of these steps. As of now, I need both of these steps. So for step 1, or preparing the cervix, the preferred method at the hospital I'll be delivering at is using a Foley catheter with a small balloon at its end that can stretch the cervix open. The other commonly used techniques are oral or vaginal suppository drugs, such as misoprostol and other prostaglandins, which are the natural hormones your body uses to prepare your cervix. These natural hormones can also be released through the catheter as well. In my case, the plan is to first try misoprostol orally every 4 hours while monitoring the baby in my cervix, and then inserting the Foley catheter when things are open enough. At this point, depending on timing, hospital bed availability, and how our baby and I am responding, we may get sent home to wait until labor starts or be kept in the hospital until labor starts. But it sounds like the plan is most likely to be kept in the hospital. For step 2, or starting active labor, some common options are having the doctor artificially rupture the membranes or break the water using a short plastic stick with a small hook, and having an oxytocin infusion via IV, since oxytocin is the hormone your body naturally makes to start labor. These two techniques work well together, and they're both on the table for me, depending on how things progress. So that's where things are at. It felt like an overwhelming amount of information and options to me at the end of last week. So hopefully this quick summary helps someone navigate this information in the future. Please keep us in mind this week, and I'll fill you all in next week on how it goes. Before I close, let's do our deep breath. 1, 2, 3, in and out. Hope you learned something new. Don't forget to share your quotes below, and have a great week, everyone.